guys, Danzel here, finally back with another video. For over 2 weeks now, I've been using the brand new iPhone 13 Pro Max, and so far, I'm enjoying the new updates and features of the phone. And today, I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts about this phone. So, let's go check it out. Coming from the iPhone 11 Pro Max and moving to the iPhone 13 Pro Max has significant differences in its appearance. Mainly, the body of the phone has a more rectangular shape and has more pronounced edges. The iPhone 13, however, holds similarities with last year's iPhone 12 Pro, and apart from the larger camera and smaller notch up front. Comparing this to my iPhone 11 Pro Max, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is significantly larger than its predecessor. Personally, this iPhone looks and feels premium, especially with its glossy stainless steel band. The problem, however, is the band attracts fingerprints. But not to worry, if you plan on putting a case on this anyway, that shouldn't be a problem. And apart from this, I also love, and I really love the matte finish on the back of the phone, and it simply adds a touch of that premium feel to the phone. With the iPhone's brand new A15 Bionic chip, which is their fastest chip for their smartphone to date, we could expect to see better graphic performance on your phones. But if I'm being completely honest, the previous A14 chip on the iPhone 12 Pro was already fast. So we could expect to see that the A15 chipset to be a bit more powerful and efficient. But honestly, it's difficult to see whether the iPhone 13 Pro Max performs faster, and on regular usage, you wouldn't really notice the difference. It may be a matter of milliseconds when it comes to, let's say, opening and closing apps or perhaps unlocking your phone. But on paper, this brand new model is definitely faster. For the past year, Apple has been producing pretty good displays for its iPhone lineup. But this year, I was stoked to learn that the iPhone has finally integrated a faster display with their ProMotion technology. So basically, this means that the screen can now output up to 120 Hz compared to the previous 60 Hz on their phones. Now, by no means that having a 120 refresh rate is new to smartphones. Other smartphone brands already have this kind of technology, but it's only now that Apple has finally added this technology to their set of phones. If you're someone like me who loves faster screen refresh rates, especially when playing games, then having a phone that outputs up to a 120 Hz refresh rate would be a blast. Now, it's difficult to catch this on camera, but I have some slow motion footage here at 120 frames to show you the differences between the displays. At a glance, you could easily see how much smoother 120 Hz is on the iPhone 13 Pro Max compared to the 60 Hz of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. This is because the screen now outputs twice the amount of frames. Visually, scrolling through your phone would be much more smoother and a seamless experience. But of course, this would come at a cost, which is a higher battery consumption. That is why these new models also have dynamic switching. Basically means that your screen would present faster and slower refresh rates to take advantage of power-saving opportunities. Now, according to Apple, their iPhone 13 Pro Max could play up to 28 hours of video. The phone also holds a 4,354 mAh battery, which could last for around 20 hours. But of course, battery consumption would differ depending on your usage. So, if you're browsing about, Facebook or Instagram, just regular browsing, then you wouldn't really have to worry about easily losing juice on your phone. But if you're watching a ton of videos and play a bunch of games on your device, then you would potentially consume much more of your battery life. In my experience, so far, my iPhone 13 Pro Max would last the whole day without needing to charge throughout the day. To be honest, there are times where I leave the house with only half the battery capacity and, still have enough juice to last a day. But of course, as with all batteries, your mileage would vary depending on how you use the device. So it's best to have good practices to keep your phone's battery in tip-top shape. Now, I wouldn't want to go into detail when it comes to specific specs of the new camera on this model, but all I have to say is that the camera lenses on this model is better than last year's iPhone. With this year's cameras, there are two specific features that are new to this phone. So firstly, I'd like to highlight its capability to do macro photography. Now, you can bring your phone up close to a subject roughly around 2 to 3 centimeters, a 2 to 3 centimeter focusing distance, give or take, to have those close-up shots. And to me, this is quite impressive to have on a phone. And in my usage, your phone would automatically switch from the ultra-wide mode to the macro photography mode. And when you're moving up close to the subject, so as you can see, there is this like crossing transition that switches the two modes. It would have been nice if there's a sort of toggle button that allow us to manually switch from the ultra wide to the macro mode. Maybe in a future update soon, it would be added. And second, cinematic mode. It's a separate mode in the camera app, and what it basically does is to focus on a subject and blur the background. It also has an f-stop dial wherein you can change the amount of blur. Personally, it's a pretty neat function to have on your phone if you like to have that, cinematic looking effect. But as someone who owns professional cameras, the artificial blur effect is just, too artificial for me. And here's a side-by-side comparison of me in front of my Sony a7R4 and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. You could definitely see the differences in the blur that separates the subject from the background, especially around the edges. But I'm pretty sure we'd see much more developments in this technology as time progresses, and maybe frequent updates and software fixes could potentially improve this effect. Now, overall, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is a great phone to have if you have the budget for it. Not only does it look and feel premium, but it also has the enhanced performance that could overall improve your smartphone experience. Coming from the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the iPhone 13 Pro Max really changed my smartphone experience with its enhanced display and other functionalities. You can now order the iPhone 13 at PowerMax Center stores, and I'd encourage you to call your nearest branch regarding its availability, or inquire via PowerMax Center's official Viber community group for faster transactions. The iPhone 13 mini starts at 46,490, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max starts at 72,990 pesos. For more information, you could check their website in the description down below. So, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, and of course, subscribe to my channel. So, once again, thank you so much. See you in the next one.